climate and nature bill that's being introduced by the UK government. What I wanted to do is just highlight one particular point on this, which I think is absolutely crazy. So this is the actual bill. You can find it online. It's the Climate and Nature Bill, and it requires the United Kingdom to achieve climate and nature targets to give the Secretary of State a duty to implement a strategy to achieve those targets, to establish a climate and nature assembly to advise the Secretary of State in creating that strategy, to give duties to the Committee on Climate Change and the Joint Nature Conservation Committee regarding the strategy and targets and for connected purposes. So some of the targets are listed in here, but I don't want to go through them all because there's quite a lot. The usual ones are obviously to do with reducing carbon emissions, carbon dioxide emissions, which are bonkers anyway, because carbon dioxide is basically what plants need to grow. Therefore, they're trying to reduce carbon dioxide, which will basically result in a dead planet. I mean, we learned this at school. It's basic. You speak to a plant because you're exhaling carbon dioxide, don't they? They say to talk to plants and they then grow and give off more oxygen. So the less carbon dioxide, the less plants there is, the less oxygen there is. So that's just a common one that they talk about. Hear it in all these Western countries talking about reducing the carbon emissions. But the one that stood out for me is this one here. This is one of the sort of strategies, one of the aims of this bill. And they want to ensure the end of exploration, extraction, export, and import of fossil fuels, and as rapidly as possible. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. They want to do away with completely fossil fuels. So they expect to support the infrastructure of the UK, all the electricity needs and everything, without fossil fuels. So what do they believe they're going to be relying on? Wind power and water turbines and all these things. The infrastructure is not even here. This is absolutely crazy. They need coal to generate electricity through the coal plants. A lot of people, surprisingly, don't even realize that batteries do not generate electricity, but they only store electricity. And you need electricity to charge batteries. If it's a rechargeable batteries, you need to charge them up. Batteries that are non-chargeable, rechargeable, they die, don't they? They lose the power and you have to throw them away because a battery only stores electric. And I'm surprised that I even have to tell a lot of people that, but a lot of people, believe it or not, do not know that batteries only store electric. So the reality is they need to generate electric, but one of the aims of this bill is to just completely get rid of fossil fuels. This is going to lead to serious power cuts. I mean, this is serious. These are the lunatics that are calling the shots. Obviously, we know there's a big overall agenda. These globalists want complete control. They want to bring in carbon taxes and all types of things. So this is just another area that is being pushed upon another country. And obviously, these are just administrators. These people in government are just administrators, and they're tasked with drawing up these bills and signing them off to make it look like they're in charge. Well, they're not in charge. But this is it here, guys. Ensuring the end of the exploration. So they're not even going to go and look for it. The extraction, exporting it to foreign countries, so to even make money off it, or even importing fossil fuels by the United Kingdom as rapidly as possible. This really should send alarm bells ringing with people, because these are the absolute lunatics that are supposedly in charge of this country. I wanted to just highlight this. I wanted it just for educational purposes to show you that, behind the scenes, behind all the headlines, They're making sensational headlines. You need to look behind them because these are some of the things that they're trying to get through Parliament, and this is one of them. And it's frightening, to be honest with you, when you consider the implications of them doing this.